I'm Kerala and Malayalis have been a savior for me from the time I started this career. From that day itself, everybody used to think because my name is Madhavan that I'm a Malayali. And then they thought that Kavya Madhavan was my wife. Illa Malayali ke today. Namaskara. This journey started 5 years ago when I met Dr. Nambi Narayanan. When I came to Kerala, to Trivandrum to meet Dr. Narayanan, somebody had told me that there is a case of a good-looking rocket scientist who had an affair with a Maldivian woman, and he was arrested for espionage for giving secrets of Indian rocketry to Pakistan. And eventually he was arrested, tortured and almost killed, and he came out and he was proved innocent. That's the only story I had heard about in Mumbai. And so I thought after Vikram Vedha, this will be a good story to do something different from what I was doing. So with a very shallow opinion, I came to meet Dr. Nambi Narayanan. And I will never forget the first time I set eyes upon him, because it changed my life completely after that. Because when I looked at him for the first time, I knew that this man was not about this shallow case. I was missing something. I do not know what it was about his story that I was missing, but there was a lot more to Dr. Nambi Narayanan than the case that he was being known for around India. In fact, nobody knew about Dr. Nambi Narayanan. When I started talking to him, even he was only talking about the case. He was saying, I was arrested like this, there was no, they could not prove anything, all the claims were wrong, and he was very angry, he was very upset, he was full of angst, and he was hurt that somebody could throw this allegation on him. And I could see all that. And in the evening when he left, I was trying to figure out what I'm missing, but I had a good story that I had heard from him. It took me 7 months to write the script. I wrote the script. I came back to meet Dr. Nambi Narayanan here in Trivandrum, and I showed him the script. He looked at it and he said, everything is good, Maddie, but this point is wrong, because I was in Princeton, New Jersey doing, working on the instability theorem with Professor Louis G. Crocco. When I heard Louis G. Crocco, I started sweating, because he is known as the father of the moon missions in America. He's a very, very renowned scientist. There's a theorem after him called the Crocco's theorem. So I said, sir, how do you know Professor Crocco? He says, no, I did my thesis under him. That's where I learned the stability theorem. And I didn't know. Nobody knew that he had been to Princeton. He was the first Ivy League student, and he finished his thesis in 10 months. And slowly instead of the case, Nambi sir started talking about his achievements in France, in Princeton, in Scotland, negotiations he did, then Russia, the cryogenic engine. It was a baffling story that I have never heard. I didn't even believe it is true. And then finally, I asked him, I said, sir, why were you not telling me this story? And you know what he said? He said, that is not a story. They paid me a salary, I did my job. And that is the day I decided to make a film on Dr. Nambi Narayan's achievements and not on the case.